with what's happening around us in the New Vision today. 5 years in jail for social media abuse. President Museveni signs a computer misuse bill and 3 other bills into law. It's in today's New Vision. And also, Kampala flyover is 71% complete. Sections of the Kampala flyover project, which is aimed at improving the flow of traffic in the city, is complete at 71% so far. The 3.2-kilometer project is being executed by Uganda National Roads Authority and a Japanese firm, Shimizu Konoike. JV progress on the $80 million project, which is about 300 billion Ugandan shillings. Details are in today's New Vision. And in the Daily Monitor, Wanda Ebola drug cures 20 patients. Among the beneficiaries are 5 health workers, and that the ministry discharged on Wednesday after recovering from the deadly Ebola virus disease. The development brings a sigh of relief as government steps up efforts to fight the highly contagious disease. Please observe the standard operating procedures and maintain social distancing. Wash your hands regularly. Do not shake hands, for this viral disease is highly contagious. Moving on, Bobby Wine defends his ties with Jamil Mukulu. Terrace Care, CMI holds 2 doctor on the run. It's all in today's Daily Monitor. And also the Daily Monitor brings you Agriculture Ministry to grow food in Karamoja, thanks to Pastor Robert Kayanja and Pastor Jessica Kayanja and the whole of the Robert Kayanja ministries. For Ore is setting the pace. Now the government of Uganda is also planning on growing food for the Karamajongs. The government has created a project aimed at sustaining food production on a large scale in Karamoja sub-region, according to the State Minister for Agriculture, Mr. Fred Bwino Chakulaga. Speaking at the World Food Day dialogue at the office of the Prime Minister in Kampala yesterday, Mr. Bwino said the ministry will organize women groups on the Green Belt in Karamoja at sub-county level to support them in food production. He said the Green Belt, which covers Kabonga, Bima, Napak districts, is suitable for growing cereals, legumes, oilseed, and producing animal protein. Tomorrow, the country will join the rest of the world to commemorate World Food Day under the theme Safe Food Today for a Healthy Tomorrow. Well, I would like to encourage you to join us again as we help the people of Karamoja. We are growing food for them, and now the government of Uganda has come on board, thanks to Pastor Robert Kayanja, for already setting the pace. Right now, allow me to take you straight into our international news update. In Africa, Nigeria's appeal court has dropped all charges against separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu after ruling that he had been illegally arrested abroad. The court also ruled that his extradition had been illegal. The ruling by a panel of 3 judges is seen as a major blow on the government, which had detained Mr. Kanu on various treason and terrorism-related charges. He leads the banned indigenous people of Biafra group called the IPOB. IPOB is campaigning for the creation of an independent state in southeastern Nigeria. And in the world of economics, the Japanese yen has touched a 32-year low against the US dollar after official figures showed that prices had risen faster than expected in America. The yen fell 100 to 147.66 against the US dollar before regaining some ground. Japanese Finance Minister Shunichi Suzuki said the government will take appropriate action against the currency volatility. In a rare move last month, Japan spent almost $20 billion to prop up the country's struggling currency. And in Australia, communities in 3 states have been ordered to evacuate as torrential rains bring major flooding. Parts of the country have received more than 3 times their average October rainfall in just 24 hours. At least 500 homes have been flooded. 1 person has died and another is missing as the disaster unfolds. Widespread flooding across Australia, driven by a La Nina weather pattern, has killed more than 20 people this year. Victoria, Australia's largest, second most populous state, has been hit this week the worst. Several communities have been ordered to evacuate, including some in the capital state of Melbourne. And in Europe, the Russian-installed leader of Ukraine's southern Kherson region, Vladimir Saldo, has called on civilians to evacuate, citing daily rocket attacks by advancing Ukrainian forces. He urged them to save themselves by going to Russia for leisure and study, and asked for Moscow's help. His call was later backed by Russian Deputy Prime Minister Marat Kusnilin in a message on state television. Ukraine rejects any accusations that it targets its own civilians. Its troops have recently retaken some of the areas of northern western Kherson, closing in on the regional capital, Kherson City. Moving on, in the United States, the gunman who killed 17 people at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, has been spared the death penalty. A jury recommended that the defendant, who is age 24, should instead spend the rest of his life in prison for the 14th February 2018 shooting. Family members of victims were visibly upset and angry as the decision was read out in court. A sentencing hearing has been set for the 1st of November. The gunman, Nicholas Cruz, pleaded guilty to the murders in October last year. It was the deadliest mass shooting case ever to reach a jury trial in the United States. And still in the United States, the U.S. Congressional Committee investigating last year's Capitol riot is issuing a legal summons for former President Donald Trump to testify. If Mr. Trump does not comply with the summons, known as a subpoena, he could face criminal charges and imprisonment. The Select Committee is looking into Trump supporters' storming of Congress on the 6th of January 2021. The panel's 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans voted 9-0 in favor on Thursday of issuing the subpoena for the former Republican president to provide documents and testimony under oath in connection with the Capitol riot. And finally, in our international news update, Ukrainian officials have urged the Red Cross to conduct a mission to a notorious prison camp in the Russian-occupied city of in the Russian-occupied east of the country. The Ukrainian president's chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, demanded that the Red Cross visit the Olenivka prison in Donetsk within 3 days. Last month, the Red Cross tried to secure access to the camp, but said it was denied access by Russian authorities. The prison has been under the control of Russian-backed authorities in Donetsk since 2014, and conditions are said to be extremely poor. Well, that brings us to the end of this hour's news update. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you of the Karamoja cry. We are sending relief to the people of Karamoja. Join us once again. Last night, Kansanga Miracle Center gave their seed, which has helped to buy more food for the people of Karamoja. The need is still great. We are plowing, we are planting, and we are producing for the people of Karamoja. The land that has been tilled and plowed and planted so far is big, though the one that is waiting is bigger. So join us once again as we send more help to the people of Karamoja. We are still lacking on seedlings and major equipment. Join us by sending your seed to the numbers that will be available during the services, or you can bring your seed to the Miracle Center Cathedral and hand it over to the pastor. Pastor Robert Kayanja is holding revival meetings every evening here at the Miracle Center Cathedral. Come, bring the sick, bring the lame, bring all those that need the hand of God. Surely God is in this place and many are living with their miracles. God bless you. Enjoy the Pastors Now program. I remain Mercy Gashegu Sembatia together with Livingstone Kawesi. Good morning.